Next up here on the Shoreham View, and next up, as we all know, is Dirty Leeds. If you're new to the channel, or even if you're not and you've always watched our videos but you haven't yet clicked that subscribe button, please go down there and click it. It really does help us a lot as we're trying to build this channel. As I said before, these are a new format video, so let us know what you think in the comments and we will keep trying to improve them. Just like last time, we've got Panchero, aka Roy, aka Mr 3000 AKAs. We've also got some Sheffield United fans giving their previews and some Dirty Leeds fans. So let's go into our first section, last time in the league. See, I've had nearly a week to reflect on this, and I'm not going to say too much. I think I said it all in the last video. Even with a week to reflect on it, pretty much everything I said, I still stand by really. We need to get going. We need to try and find a way to not kill the next game in 10 minutes, because last time against Villa, as we all know, 10 minutes into the game and it was a waste of time. He even got sent off and pretty much put us on the back foot possession wise, and other than the penalty, we didn't really get in the swing of things and it killed the game off after 10 minits. What do we need to do going forward? We need to find a way to have a decent first 10 minutes. That'll go a long bloody way. What we're going to do now is go to Roy, aka Panchero, aka Mr 3000 AKAs. It's never going to get old, that Panchero. And he's going to give us his review from that game.
I think it's really difficult to judge that Villa game, to be honest, because just like the Wolves game, after 10 minutes there was very very little chance of us winning it. I think we defended well, worked hard, can't fault anything in terms of the, in terms of the effort and stuff, including Lundstrom. In terms of the effort and stuff like that, we probably could have used the ball a little bit better and stuff. But I think if that penalty goes in, Villa are panicking big time, and you go from them sort of dominating possession to being probably a bit more frantic and stuff, saying, hang on, we're losing to 10 men here, first game of the season. But obviously it weren't to be. I'd like to, I don't know how much we can judge so far. I think the first two games have just been a total waste of time, really, in terms of what we can learn about United, because we've been out of them basically after the first 10 minutes. So let's hope against Leeds that we at least get to half time having some sort of idea about where we're at, because I think it's really difficult to judge at the moment.
Okay, so Dirty Leeds. This is going to be a tough one, isn't it? Let's all be honest with ourselves, they're playing well, they're scoring goals for fun, but they are conceding them. And that's doing us a big favour, because we're not putting it back in there. We haven't even scored one in the league yet. So let's hope they have another defensive mare and our defence lives up to its reputation and keeps a clean sheet. Because if we can keep a clean sheet, this game is there for the taking. They're really overconfident, aren't they? They seem to think it's going to be a walk in the park, and they seem to think that they're just going to have their wicked way with us. That sounds weird when I said it out loud. It sounded better on paper. What am I fucking kidding? I didn't write it down. So at least they're just going to turn up, spank a few goals in, easy day, and go home with 3 points. No. Chris Wilder is going to have our players in an absolute frenzy for this game. We all know his opinions on Leeds, being a Blades fan. We all know his opinions on Leeds from being a manager. He had a few words to say about a few people after our last encounter and after our last season together. And if anybody can get these players ready and going, it is Chris Wilder. Again, we do need improvement, and unless anything drastic happens, and even if that, I don't think they'll be registered in time, we still haven't brought in a striker. People are saying that the bid's on the table for Ryan Brewster and we're just stalling. Whether that's true or not, who knows? As we know from the Crystal Palace fiasco and their chairman coming out in public, you can't always believe what you read on Sky Sports News. Without that striker, what do? I think it's got to be McBurney? No. I think what we've got to do is go for Burke and McGoldrick. They didn't get a chance to really play together, did they, in the last game? Let's be honest, after 10 minutes that was a cancelled plan. But I think there could be something there. McGoldrick's style of play, Burke's style of play, we could have something there. I still think we need a break-pace striker in, but let's get a chance. Could work wonders, who knows? Style of play-wise, it's one of these games where I think our best game plan with the way they play and the way they go forward is to nullify them. Stop them playing their game. We play our game, and in doing so, we cancel their game out, I think, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to hit them on the break, we've got to look to be smart, we've got to look to get in their faces and really cancel them out, because we all know they're good going forward, but not good at the back. So if we can kind of throw them off this wave of momentum after 2 games, so they've only got 3 points, wave of momentum, we can hurt him. I think we can hurt him. Let's not get too carried away. I'm not expecting it to be an easy game, not at all. Not at all. What Yorkshire Derby is easy. Bouncing day. What Yorkshire Derby is easy in reality? None. So we can't take anything for granted, and neither can they, and that's what they need to realise. Starting 11 that I'd go for this game. Nah, I had to think long and hard about this one. It's pretty much the same team I wanted for the Villa game. In fact, I think it is the same team I wanted for the Villa game. So starting in net, Aaron Ramsdale. Rambo needs to settle in. I don't think he's made too many blunders. I was critical of him in the Wolves game. Look, he's a new keeper. I'm not comparing him to Dean Henderson like some other people are doing, but I don't know. It's going to take some adjustment, isn't it, for Blades fans to get used to Rambo in the net. And he's hoping for a massive performance. Well, let's not hope for a massive performance. Let's hope he has fuck all to do. Egan missing. Now, this isn't something I didn't talk about in the preview because I thought I'd save it till now. It's a big loss for us. That is a massive, massive miss for us. There, Mr. Reliable has been known to get caught out with a long ball over the top, which has led to 2 red cards. Shit it out. Looking at Ampadu, I think he's the man to go there, so I'm going to go with Ampadu in the Egan position. He's young, let's hope he's hungry. Good bit of pace, solid on the ball, I think, from what I've seen. Not very good at shooting, is what I got from the Villa game. But hey, if ever there's a time to jump in the deep end and shine, now's your time, lad. Right side of centre half, Mr. Reliable, Chris Batcham. Who else is it going to be? You can't pick anybody else for that position. Cult hero, Mr. Reliable, last year's player of the season, always gives his all, always battles for everything, always gives everything he's got. And let's hope he arrives again. Left side of centre half, Jack O'Connell. Let's hope he's got his magic hat on. I'm throwing all the puns out, I'm throwing all the fucking cliches out today, aren't I? Jesus Christ. Mr. Magic Hat himself. Let's hope he has a good game, because if he plays well, we're rolling forward, keeping steady at the back, we're on to a winner. We're on to a big winner, because Jack O'Connell's vital to the way we play, and when he plays up and he's doing everything right, it's an handful for teams. And that's what we need to start being more of this season, is a fucking handful. Right back, George Baldock. Best option we've got this time, Starman running up and down the right. He needs to have a good game, needs to continue to have good games. If we can keep 11 men on the pitch, it'll do it world of wonders. But I think George Baldock is the man to start this game at right wing back. Left wing back, Ender Stevens. Now, people are critical of Ender at the moment, and Lowe did look very good in his one game. This isn't the game to give Lowe his league debut, in my book. There'll be other games coming up very soon where I'd probably do it, but not this one. Let Ender go out and give him every opportunity to do his best, because we'll need him at his best. And if he has it in this game, even better for us. He needs to bring back the Ender that we know and love, because the last few games he's not really looked 100% himself. Midfield, Norwood. Bring back Norwood. Bring back Oliver Norwood. Bring him back right now. Stick him in that position, and let's hope he's pinging him left, pinging him right, and let's hope that we see the Norwood we all want to see. I've said that a lot in this video, haven't I? It's like that other guy says, going forward, going forward, going forward, going forward. But no, we need Norwood at his best. We need Norwood to dictate that tempo against a team like this, because if he can, and we slow them down, and he just gets time to put the ball where he wants at his pace, that is going to destroy the way they play. I know they'll be in his face, but if anybody can find time on the ball, it's prime Ollie Norwood, and that's what we need him to be. Next up, John Fleck. He needs to find his form. Hopefully, again, with 11 men, he might be able to link up with the forwards more. He needs to find a way to start producing what he was. He needs to find a way to link up with those attackers, fill that little gap, find areas in the box, because vital goals that he has scored, he's not getting into them positions at the minute. I know we're only 2 games in, but I don't know. I want to see more from Flecky. Next up, Sander Berge. I'd like him to put a bit more pace on his passes. I'd like him to whack it a bit more so it might find his man a bit more. But the big, majestic Norwegian bastard that he is, he dances forward with it, and it's very, very nice to watch. He does give it his all, he does battle for a big lad. I would like to see him put more aggression into his game. starting with how much power he puts on the passes, but he is building game by game by game, and I think he's going to be a big player and important to us going forward. Up front, McGoldrick, what can we say? He hadn't had any time to shine really. He's come on as a sub, come off as a sub, scored against Burnley in the League Cup, so let's hope it's not another season with only 2 goals coming right at the back bloody end. But here's the frustrating thing, is without pace, breakneck pace. I know Oliver Burke's got pace, but I can't judge them together because we haven't seen it. So hopefully if they play together, it will give us a good indication of how far behind we are on pace. McGoldrick's hold-up style of play is great, and it ruins defenders when he holds it up with that strength, finds his pass, finds his moment and plays it through. And if somebody's got that bit of spark, they just get behind the strikers, game over, goal. So it could be vital that we get him up to full form, up to full fitness, and I think if he can do in this game, it's going to be dangerous for them. Oliver Burke, my man of the match last game, showed a lot. Every time he had the ball, he looked good on the ball. This time, hopefully, he's got that link-up play for the full 90 minutes and more, and he can use what he's got more effectively rather than trying to leave that line on his own, which is hard for any player to do, especially when coming into a new team and not full fitness. So that's my lineup. Let us know in the comments if you change any of that, and let us know who your 11 would be. We're now going to hand it over to Roy, and he's going to give us the Leeds fans' views, and some Leeds fans themselves are going to do the same. After that, we're going to go to the Blades fans' views.
So just compiling the pre-match view from Leeds. Not quite as spicy as Villa, but a few quotes stand out. One of them is Sheffield United are lacking a big part of their safety net in Henderson this time around, and I wouldn't be surprised should they not get any points early on if they found it hard to climb their way back up again. Another one is you have to admire what Chris Wilder has done, but you have to worry for them. How long could they compete with clubs with far more spending power while they rely on ancient players such as Billy Sharp and David McGoldrick? And another one is, I said they'll come down to earth this season, and already I think they're missing Henderson. The defence looked noticeably less organised this time around, lack creativity and flair, and McBurney just doesn't look up to it at this level. Now, it'd be easy, obviously, to say, what are you talking about, we finished 9th and stuff, but I don't think those Leeds fans are saying any worse than our own fans are saying. It's probably a bit less harsh, actually, than what our own fans are saying at the moment. So, it's going to be a really difficult game, this, isn't it, to be fair. I think we need a win big time, just to calm everyone down, remind our own fans, if nothing else, that we aren't rubbish, and we're just desperate to get those confidence levels back up. People have written us off after 2 games, but for me, in those 2 games, we've essentially been out of any chance of winning it by the 10th minute. I don't think we've had any real chance of getting 3 points in either game after 10 minutes due to, a bad refereeing decision, and in the first game just self-sabotage. And we've left ourselves with a mountain to climb in both games. So, but those 2 games are pretty unique circumstances. So let's just hope we're still in it in the 10 minutes this time. If things will have improved. If it's 20 minutes gone, it's 0-0 and we've got 11 players on the pitch. So, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I won't like to predict. I'm shitting it, to be honest.
Hi Johnny, hope you're alright mate. This is Connor here from One Leeds Fan Channel. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. You Blades men, who I'm sure are happy to see my lovely Leeds face. I'm here to give you a preview of, I guess, the Leeds Sheffield United game. Johnny has kindly asked me to come on the Shoreham View channel, which literally is an unbelievable channel. Johnny's doing a quality job. The edits are incredible, genuinely. He's got a really good fan base that, I've watched Shoreham View for years, so, you all who support him, you're doing extremely well. Keep up the support for Johnny and the Shoreham View boys as well. I know he works extremely hard, so keep up that. But listen, I'm here to preview the Sheffield United Leeds United game. Listen, I've lived in Sheffield for the best part of sort of 4 or 5 years, moved back recently, so I understand the hate. I really do. I understand the hate, and Sheffield United fans do not like Leeds at all. I was actually confused at one point. I didn't know whether or not they hated Wednesday more or Leeds more. I think it's in the middle. I don't really know. Maybe I'm being a mug, maybe it is Wednesday, but I've met some Sheffield United fans who hate Leeds more. But anyway, what I'm building up to, guys, it's a rivalry. It's a massive rivalry, and I don't know. I don't hate Sheffield United. I like Sheffield United. I prefer Sheffield United more than Wednesday. I do. I like the Wilder philosophy. I like the fact, the overlapping centre backs. You'll have heard this loads of times, Blades fans. You'll have heard this loads of times. Overlapping centre backs, but I'm actually someone who's watched Sheffield United, not a pundit just sitting there and waffling on about a team they haven't actually watched, but yet still waxing lyrical about their overlapping centre backs. But what can I tell you about Leeds United? Well, I can tell you that goals are happening with Leeds United. It's goals here, there and everywhere at this moment in time. But I'm quietly confident. I am. We're scoring a lot more goals, which is weird. Last season, our XG was ridiculous. Obviously, I'm sure you guys all know we didn't convert chances. It was probably the problem against you boys with the Basham goal, which I don't think about at all, as you can tell. But the Basham goal and that game, Tyler Roberts hitting the post almost 2 minutes earlier, and that game could have been so different, but we didn't take our chances. But it's kind of reverted now. We're very good at taking chances. We're very sort of efficient, I'd say. We're taking our chances, but now at the back we seem a little bit, it's a little bit infrequent. But what I will say about that is our centre backs met 3 days before the Liverpool game. We went out there, gave probably the best account of ourselves we could ever give, and then at Fulham at home, I would argue one penalty. Well, I wouldn't argue. I'd say it wasn't a penalty, and probably the decision at Liverpool as well wasn't a penalty. So there's been a lot of defensive mishaps, but VAR has done us in a couple of times already in a couple of weeks, which I know you Bladesmen will know about with the whole Aston Villa saga last year. So VAR is something we're all getting used to. But aside from that, I think we've been good. I think we've been really good. Obviously, giving a good account of ourselves down at Liverpool. Fulham, yeah, don't get me wrong, wasn't ideal at 4-1. I'd have liked us to have gone and scored 6-7, but that didn't happen. But Leeds are looking good. We're looking really good going forward. I think we're going to definitely be a different team to what you faced a couple of years ago, obviously with us beating you down at Bramall Lane, you beating us at Ellen Road. But it's always going to be a tight affair, and I think Sheffield United are going to be well up for this. Losing 2 on the bounce, not scored a goal yet, but when Leeds comes to town, Wilder will be right up for this, 100%, and the boys will know what it means. But I think they'll know what it mean here as well. Ellen Road, Leeds, we need to get another win. We're trying to get to that 40-point mark. It's a Yorkshire derby. And for me, it's probably a little bit more personal, obviously, because I've lived in Sheffield. I've drank with United fans numerous times, and I've got a lot of mates who are United fans. So I expect a very, very tough game. A very tough game. Organised, as I keep saying, with about Leeds being efficient. Sheffield United are efficient as well. There has been a little bit of an overhang for me from Sheffield United from last year. Obviously, a couple of losses towards the back end of the season for Sheffield United, and it's kind of continued into this season. Do I think that makes you a bad team? Of course not. That doesn't make you a bad team. You're still an excellent team. But I do think Leeds can hurt you. I do. And I know you'll hate hearing that, but I do think there's areas where we can hurt you. I think we're very fluid in terms of our footballing ability. We've got players that can hurt you, and I think you've seen that a lot this year. It seems that Leeds have got more space now, so we look a lot more dangerous. Even the likes of Bamford, Helder Costa has come in his own. Harrison looks extremely good. Matthias Klick as well, very, very good on the counter-attack. So going forward, we'll look extremely good. I just think we need to shore up at the back a little bit, and that's going to be interesting to see. I think Sheffield United could hurt us on set pieces, but Egan missing's huge for me. I really like John Egan. I really like him. I think he's a great player. He's someone who I was talking about Leeds being in for before he went to Sheffield United. A very good player, a leader as well. And I think that could be a big miss for Sheffield United. So I'm going to wrap this up, Johnny, because I'm rambling, mate. But here, Connor on One Leeds Fan Channel, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leeds United win. Keep up the great stuff on the channel, mate. All you Bladesmen, keep following your team. We all want the Yorkshire teams to stay in the Premier League, don't we? We want to keep that vibe up north. We don't want all those southern teams in the Premier League. So yeah, I hope Sheffield United do well towards the end of the season. Have a cracking day, lads, and I'll speak to you in a bit.
Hi guys, Jonas here from the Adelites. Last time we played each other was in the Championship. Now we've got this nice badge on the shoulder. Just the same as you guys. Obviously, we dominated that game at Ellen Road, and we should have won. We've been very efficient this season. If we can dominate like we did, and we can be efficient as we have been so far, then I shouldn't see any problems. However, it does feel like you're a bit of a bogey team in some ways, and yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive, but should be another good game in the Premier League, and good luck for all the other games apart from ours. Cheers.
Wow, what a weekend we have in store. A Yorkshire derby in the Premier League at last. Wilder will have his men wound up for this one, having lost 2 games in the league and 1 in the cup. The big man John Egan's out at the back. Will the overlapping centre-backs work against Leeds United? Well, we've had a great start here at Leeds anyway in the Premier League. Despite the loss at Liverpool, we've shown the Premier League what we're all about. We need to tighten up at the back. Sheffield United don't score many goals, but they don't concede many either, although this season might be a bit different. Second season syndrome? I'm not so sure. It's a Yorkshire derby. I'm going to go for Sheffield United 1, Leeds United 1. I think it'll be a cracker, but it'll be a tight affair. Looking forward to it.
Hi, Ben here. My thoughts on the game on Sunday against Sheffield United. I don't think it's going to be a tough one for us. I think Sheffield is struggling at the moment. They've not won in 5 games. They're struggling to create chances, which is good for us because we seem to be leaking a hell of a lot of goals at the moment. And also, I think the big factor is there's not going to be any crowds either, which is going to be a benefit for us. So it's going to be 2-0 Leeds. Up the Whites!
Hi guys, it's Alex from the Roaring Peacock podcast. It's just a preview of our game this weekend. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think we're a free scoring team in the Premier League for some reason. Also free conceding, which is baffling. You guys are due a win, and you've got players that love to score against us like Billy Sharp and Chris Basham. Sorry, I zoned out a bit there. Should be... Oh God, not again.
So we move on to Dirty Leeds now. I think I'd start with Ampadu. He's pacey. Looks like he's got it. It's a good time to try. Difficult team. I think I'd give him a go. And for me, I'd bring Norwood back into midfield, centre midfield, and move Sander out to right. I think Burke could feed off Norwood's passes. I really do. Sander carries ball well, and he's looking superb. But I think Norwood moves ball faster, pinging it about. So I'd certainly fetch Ollie Norwood back in and move Sander back out to right. And that's no reflection on Lunny, who I thought did everything the other night. Up front, you've got to give Didsey and Burke a go. I think you've got to break on Leeds. They'll come at you, you break on them. I think it'll be a good game. And I think we'll get something from.
Right guys, Travelling Blade here. Leeds at home. First Yorkshire derby in a long while. Well, probably since we played Leeds. Probably since we beat Leeds 1-0 when Basham arrived. I don't think we played anyone from Yorkshire since then. Maybe in a cup, who cares? It's going to be a tough game. Leeds scoring for fun at the minute. Also conceding for fun. I believe they've just signed Laurenti at the back. Spoken to a few Leeds fans. Apparently Koch has been giving away penalties left, right and centre. I think the first 2 games has given away a penalty in each game. Hopefully he plays. Hopefully he loses his rag, kicks one of our players. We get a pen. But we all know how they went. We all know how Lundstrom's went at Villa Park. In terms of lineup, obviously Egan, I love him, but he's let himself down there. It was questionable, but I think when I say let himself down getting caught out by the long ball. The foul, it wasn't a foul. I'd like to see Ampadu come in. I thought Ampadu did brilliantly the other night when he came in. It was absolutely fantastic. He seemed to be slotted right in. I think apart from that, I'd stay the same. Midfield, I think personally I would go with Berger, Osborne and Fleck. And then up top, I think Burke has got legs, which a lot of our strikers lack. In an ideal world, I'd have Moose, but I think I'll go. Obviously, I think he's got like a foot injury, so he might be out for quite a while. So I'm going to go with McGoldrick and Burke up top, and just honestly, just hope for some points. Just some points, please. Anywhere, if we can get from anywhere, just some points. If it's 1, it's 1. If it's 3, amazing. But hopefully we can just do something and find the net and get off the mark.
Hi, it's Sheffield United Bible here. I think it's going to be Sheffield United 2, Leeds 1 on Sunday. I think it's going to be Fleck and McBurney late on to score for us, while Patrick Bamford's going to score for Leeds. I think the lineup on Sunday is going to be Ramsdale, Bogle, Ampadu. Basham, O'Connell, Stevens, Fleck, Burge, Lundstrom. I think up top it's going to be Burke and McGoldrick, I reckon.
Hiya pal, hope you're alright. Just wanted to give me your opinion on the game on Sunday. Obviously it's a big one with Leeds coming up, probably about as must win as you could get at this stage of the season. Obviously I think more not in terms of the season in general, just in terms of the confidence of the lads, and just to get points on the board, especially against Leeds, it'll always be nice. So I'm looking forward to the game. A few interesting factors, obviously Egan being suspended, who comes in for him. Myself personally, I think Ampadu did enough showing the other night. I know he's probably originally bought to play the right centre half, but I think the lads so far has oozed class and quality, and I wouldn't have any issues with him playing at the centre of that three at the back. Just on the other issues as well, obviously the midfield issue. I've been quite outspoken on Twitter, shall we say, about my thoughts about Lundstrom, and I totally get the other arguments against it, but for me I wouldn't have him in the side. Nothing against his penalty the other day, but I just wouldn't have him in the team. And I'd probably go with midfielder Fleck, Norwood in the sitting role, and Berg. And then obviously the striking issue up top, probably go Burke, and then one of McGoldrick or McBurney, depending how Wilder's going to play it. Always tough when we play Leeds, last time in the Championship I thought we had the better of the game at Bramall Lane, but they obviously beat us, and then the famous game at Elland Road with Chris Basham arriving. So yeah, really looking forward to Sunday. My prediction, 2-0 Blades.
Alright, our third game of the season and our second home game against Leeds, the Yorkshire Derby. It's come around early, this one. Would have been great to have fans there for this one, but alas, the situation doesn't allow for it, unfortunately. It should be a really interesting game, this. I think the games between us and Leeds in the past couple of years have always been really interesting. Both very good games, but tight games in the Championship promotion season. Hopefully this man can maybe come arriving again and steer us to 3 points. But I'd take a point, honestly, at this stage, because I just want to see us get on the board, sort of like get a bit of confidence boost, because I don't think the performances were necessarily bad in those first two games. Egan is going to be a big miss, but I think Ampadu can come in and fill that role, or Jagielka, but personally I'd like to see Ampadu start. Maybe not much of a physical presence in the middle, but I feel like his ball playing ability, and I think he'll be able to cope with Leeds' fast attacking style a bit better than Jags. That's just my personal opinion. I've seen a lot of criticism of Ramsdale. I hope he gets a lot more time. Comparing him to Henderson isn't fair. I think he'll do brilliantly for us. Just give him some time, give the coaches time to work with him. He'll be a great keeper for us, I'm sure. But yeah, keep Burke up top and McGoldrick. I'd like to see that again, but I wouldn't be adverse to see McBurney come back in. It's just going to be a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to it, and let's hope we can get the 3 points. Come on, you Blades.
Hi guys, been asked by Johnny at Shoreham to do a quick preview video for Leeds game. Where to start really, because it depends which side turns up, Leeds and United. If the Leeds side turns up that play against Liverpool, where they don't leave anything at back, we might be able to break them down. But the fact is we can't score goals. We struggle, and it's going to be a massive game for us wing backs. Baldock and Stevens are going to have to put a shift in. They're going to have to cover every inch of grass down them sides, because when we're attacking, we'll have the man advantage. But when we're defending, they'll probably have a man advantage because of how they overload the areas going into the boxes and the outside of the box. Massive game for McBurney. He's going to have to win everything in air. He's going to have to win every flick, and he's going to have to win every duel. He's probably, I think, off the top of my head, I think he's taller than both of their centre-backs. And that's going to have to stand him in good stead, because if we're not going to win the flick-ons, and if he's going to play Burke behind him, he's going to have to be ready to run onto balls. He might not, he might play McGoldrick, and he might stick what he knows. But I think Burke did enough in that first game, even though he didn't really have much time to do what he wanted to do. I think he did enough to show what he's capable of doing. Pass to Basham, especially proved. He's got a bit of an eye for certain things. I think Leeds are a good side. I don't think Leeds will go down. They might struggle after Christmas, because if they're going to play with that high intensity, that high tempo and that high press, teams will do what they did to us, where they work us out. Like when we played at Anfield, they just played their wing backs wide, made the pitch extremely wide, and we couldn't bomb and we couldn't press. We got overrun for 90 minutes. That could happen with Leeds with the press. If teams just sit and wait for their press and then overload, Leeds could be chasing the ball a lot more than what they're running forward with the ball with, but we need to be smart to that, and we need to look like we've got a game plan. I'm not saying Wilder haven't got a game plan. If anyone's going to be able to stop Bielsa, it's Wilder. I don't agree with all this. Best manager in the league is Bielsa. He's played 2 games and won 1, but we haven't won any yet. So we've got to pick up where we left off. Start of last season, we've got to get some momentum. We've got to get some tempo. We've got to get some energy. We've got to get a press. Need a striker. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think we'll edge it 2-1.
So my prediction against Leeds Sunday afternoon, it's been a disappointing start for us, and Leeds, to be honest, have looked pretty good. They played really well against Liverpool, scoring lots of goals, but they are leaking goals. Can we finally get a couple of goals? I think we're going to need to get a couple of goals to beat Leeds, because although our defence is good, I can see them scoring a couple. I'm going for 2-2. Line-up, I would like to see Burke again and McGoldrick. I think they could work well together. Sanderberg in midfield with Fleck and Norwood back in, I would say. Lundstram I can't see starting. And Ampadu coming in for the suspended John Egan. And it's a big game. Let's hope we can beat Leeds.
Good mix of opinions there. Now, if you did enjoy this video, as we said earlier, please subscribe to the Shoreham View. It does mean a lot to us and it really will help us build this channel. Let us know in the comments what we can do better, as well as letting us know what you think, what your preview for the game is and what you'd like to see United do. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a Twitter page, we have a Facebook page and we have an Instagram. We'll leave those on the screen for you. We hope you enjoyed, and next up is Dirty Leeds. Let's hope for 3 points. Up the Blades!